and welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing as well as possible. For this session, I wanted to create a distance healing video for discipline, for really doing our best to create energy and space for the things that we want in our lives, and really carving out time and energy for putting those things into action. So taking all of our manifestations, all of the things that we've, subtly sat with, let marinate, manifested, done our rituals for, this is about really bringing those into our reality. And a really big part of this kind of work of manifesting, a big part of this kind of energetic work of dream alignment and all of this, our moon rituals, is to call that into action. When we set our intentions and we are being very intentional about what we want in our lives, when we're kind of culling things that we no longer want in our lives and aren't serving us. And then what do we do next? Well, this is about kind of when the inspiration starts to wane, and we really want to have a foundation of discipline within our spiritual practice in order to rely on that and depend on that as a foundation for those days when we're not feeling great, when we're kind of losing track of that tie or connection to our wants, to our goals, and where we're feeling a little bit maybe foggier out of it. This is just to help remind you of the importance and the power of discipline. I'd love to know if any of you struggle with discipline, feeling disciplined in your life, struggle with maybe showing up for yourself consistently, showing up as a result for other people consistently. I'd just love to know where you are with this, because I think very often this can be a block for us, and so I wanted to create something supportive here to help you kind of cut through that blockage that's preventing you from showing up for yourself. I'm going to start off today with a little bit of this spray. This is a rose water, eucalyptus, sage, and cedarwood spray. We're coming to the end of it, so I'm going to make my own using this bottle next, and I already know what I want to make. So I'm going to spray first to your lovely, lovely right. Love my sleeves. They're massive. I feel so angelic when I wear this. Now spraying to your left, down at your feet, and above your head. Just outside of your heart center there as well for good measure. Gorgeous. So, let's begin by lighting our candle and setting our intention. Okay? So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this distance Reiki session for discipline, for helping you move closer towards the life that you'd like to manifest, taking action on your dreams. Now, if you'd like to take a moment to gaze into the flame and really start to ruminate on what that is, specify this intention or clarify it, feel free to do so now. I'm going to leave this flame open for you, okay? So now I'm going to take this lavender incense and light it off of our candle. We're going to preserve that intention, and then we'll draw the sacred Reiki symbols and do a little bit of clearing. Okay. Okay. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. It really means so much to me, and I'm honored that you're here and that you, I don't know, like this content enough to want to be notified when I upload. Thank you. It's so kind. Several of you have asked about not receiving notifications. If you hit the bell, you can receive notifications if it's not working from just subscribing. But thank you for subscribing. It really means the world to me. It helps me create this content for you, and I just want you to know that I'm really grateful for you for doing that. So thank you for all of your wonderful comments and for just being here. I just really appreciate you. So thank you. Okay, love, let's start just outside of your heart center here, just drawing the sacred symbols. The master symbol here, I think, is incredibly important when we're talking about discipline. Discipline. Discipline can sometimes have a negative connotation, but it's really about bringing your actions in alignment with your wants. It's a practice of aligning your actions with your dreams, with what you'd like to manifest. So we can't have one without the other. If we didn't do the kind of subtle work that's required to better understand ourselves, maybe give us the confidence to even begin to take action, if we didn't do this kind of self-love work and the self-worth and the confidence work, this kind of balancing work, this energetic work that we very often do here together if you've received any of my sessions here. So it's not possible to take action unless you're clear on what you want. It's very difficult to take action if you don't believe that you're worthy of a different life, a better life. So all of that work, that more subtle work, is really important, and we cover that a lot here. And the other aspect is taking action on the things that we want, taking action on the life we want to call in. And so that's the piece here of the puzzle that's just as important as the other work that we do. But it's something that we don't usually focus on in these sessions. So I wanted to give a little bit of time for that. Do any of you feel kind of stuck in these upper chakras when it comes to this kind of manifestation work that you do a great job of with your rituals and with your clearing? And when you receive these sessions, you feel very connected. You're experiencing a lot of growth when it comes to your self-love, when it comes to caring for yourself and having self-compassion and self-friendship and all of that. But then when it comes to kind of taking action on some of the things we want, there might be a blockage. So if that's the case, this is here for you, just to help support you in taking action. Okay, love. I'm now going to use the tuning fork to do a little bit of kind of vibrational cleansing. Okay. So I'd like to begin by using a few stones. And I'm going to move through your aura with these stones, okay? We're going to be primarily focusing on the solar plexus here. I really want to empower you to take action and take action from an aligned place. A helpful aspect here is visualization. If you can visualize where you'd like to go, what you'd like to do, how you'd like to move through the world, show up in the world, then this can be a helpful way of starting to take that first step. But really it is just about taking that first step. So I'm going to use these two stones here. This is a raw tiger's eye, and this is a yellow calcite. It's so gemmy and very tactile. And while the tiger's eye for me, I love the look of it, how it kind of shines and flashes. The little teeth, almost like the filaments in a whale's mouth. Whale's teeth, whale bones. This is sort of more about the physical sensation, touch. So the way it feels, and this is more about the way it looks in terms of that sort of sensory experience. But anyway, I'm going to move through your aura, just sending this, tiger's eye is great for empowering action, for self-confidence. I love using tiger's eye if I'm ever feeling a little bit down. Tiger's eye is a great little boost. And this yellow calcite, so sunny, so gemmy, so again, it's like a boost, but more of like a smile from a stranger, that kind of a feeling. So we're going to start here and just move down. Really sending this energy into your aura. I'm going to kind of invite this energy into the solar plexus, like so. 2 to 3 fingers above your belly button. Just bringing the energy closer to you, allowing this energy in, sending this energy into this space. It took me a really long time to become familiar with my own patterns when it comes to discipline. I have a very unusual schedule and relationship with discipline, but I have it works for me. It's very effective in my life. And it took me a really long time to realize that your version of things doesn't have to match anybody else's. So, for what it's worth, and if that means something to you, I think that there are so many different ways to live up to your potential, to find success in your life. But you're the only one who can know what's working. You're the only one who can know what success is for you, because you're the only one who can feel what you feel, live the way you live, experience your life and your perspective. So you're the only one who can know what's working. So one thing that can be really helpful here is to sort of just release the shame. If there's any shame that comes in when you're thinking about discipline, maybe you're someone who procrastinates often, maybe you're someone who has a hard time with routine or structure, maybe you're someone who has a lot of challenges when it comes to taking action on things. Maybe you really don't feel like you're worthy. Setting these beautiful healing stones in for that purpose here. But if that sounds familiar to you, then I would say that it can be really helpful to kind of tune out any other perspectives in whatever way you can when you're doing this kind of practice. Obviously, tuning other people out isn't always a great practice. But when we're doing this kind of thing, we're really trying to push through. It's a hard barrier to break. Objects at rest stay at rest. when you are not in motion, there's nothing in you that wants to begin that. It's really hard. It's a very challenging thing. Anyone who says it's easy, I'm not sure that I believe that. I think it is a very challenging thing, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. Taking action on your life and the dreams and goals that you have, I think it's vitally important for your own happiness, your own joy, for your growth, your development. Very often when we reach a goal, we've changed along the way. Things have opened up for us. Movement has happened. Things have shifted in our energetic practice. We say that movement is an indication of health and stagnancy is an indication of a lack of health. So this movement is so powerful and so empowering, and it can really open up so many channels, so many doorways to you, to a better understanding of who you are, to maybe new things that you wouldn't have ever even wished or dreamed for prior to taking action because you didn't think you were even capable of obtaining that. That's definitely happened for me. Things I never thought were possible started sort of opening up to me. Once you take action and once you start to do all of this work and put it into practice, sometimes you start to realize, like, wow, I wasn't even asking for things that are within my reach now because I didn't think I could ever have them. And that's really a practice of releasing any self-doubt, releasing that self-judgment, and really learning how to validate yourself, love yourself, learning how to build up your self-esteem. And it's not, this doesn't happen necessarily all alone. I work with people that help, and I think that's incredibly important and empowering, working with a therapist, working with a spiritual teacher, and just doing your own work. But so many of these doors are going to remain closed unless you get up and open them. So it's really important to take action. Discipline is so valuable in your spiritual growth. So when we're thinking about what we want, when we're thinking about what we want to call in, then we have to really think about how we can take those first steps. And I think that's going to be enormously important for your own growth and development. Taking those steps. Just drawing the symbols and the palms in my hands. And drawing the symbol outside of your solar plexus. Activation symbol. Now I'm placing my hands on your solar plexus, 2 to 3 fingers above your belly button. Placing my hands here in this space. Empowering you here. Sending you confidence. If you, what do they say, a habit can form after, some say 3 weeks, some say 30 days. When we want to call in changes, growth, a shift, something new, it's not going to be comfortable or easy or smooth. Very often it's clunky and uncomfortable, and it's sort of the last thing we want to do. But so this is why it's really important to start to develop a practice of discipline. Develop discipline within you. If you've ever seen a martial arts film, that's a great way to just be inspired to discipline, for me at least. I find it so empowering to watch someone kind of grow into a higher version of self, especially when you're watching how they become physically stronger. It's just a nice thing to watch. And so I think that discipline and that as a reminder of controlling our minds, controlling our bodies, doing our best to align our actions with our intentions so that we can integrate and really move with integrity through our lives. And that's usually the theme of movies like that. But that's a great reminder for how to really develop discipline, developing a practice of discipline. Discipline comes from the word disciple. So you want to be a student, you want to be the one who learns, the one who follows, the one who supports, and this can be such a beautiful path to growth. So if you wanted to be your own disciple, whenever I think of disciples and discipline, I always think of the pages in the tarot deck. The Page of Wands, the Page of Cups, coins. And it feels very, you're the student, curious, taking action, there's movement. And I think it's really a wonderful thing. If you're creating a grid, you could take a card from, one of the pages if you have a tarot deck, and you can use that as the center of the grid for calling in this kind of energy, this kind of discipline. I often talk to my best friend about discipline. He struggles with it a lot, and we kind of chat about that quite often, about discipline and why it's so difficult. This is sort of similar to our motivation video, motivation versus inspiration. That motivation comes from within, inspiration usually comes from without. That there are things that can inspire us to take action, but that the daily work, the daily practice, which is the thing that's actually going to create and invite the most change, is a slow, steady, it's the tortoise energy, just one step at a time in the right direction. And it's that energy that's definitely going to make the biggest impact on your life. So just for today, placing my hands right back on the solar plexus and just focusing here for today. So just for today, really do your best to just do 3 things that are moving you towards that potential self. Just 3 things, 3 small things. And if you can do those same things tomorrow, the repetition of that, no matter how small they are, will not only make it easier the more you do it, it will also make such a big difference in terms of your growth. That compound interest does make such a big difference. These little things. Waking up in the morning and meditating, just sitting for 5 minutes and meditating. Do that for a month, 2 months, see what happens. I guarantee you will feel better, you'll feel more aligned. I guarantee it because I've seen it in my life and other people's lives, loved ones and people I've worked with. It is so powerful, so powerful. Little things. It's the small things that build up that make such a big difference in the end. So this is my encouragement for you here to take action on this. And even if you just do one thing, start out with one thing, one thing that you're going to do and dedicate yourself to. And this doesn't mean that you're allowed to shame yourself or feel bad about yourself or that it means something about you if you skip it one day. Of course not. But what I do want you to feel empowered by is that you are worthy of changing what you don't want in your life. You are worthy of that. So if you miss a day or don't meditate one morning or whatever it might be, that doesn't mean anything about you. But when you get up the next day and you meditate and you get back to it and you have this strong foundation of discipline, that means that you're starting to believe that you're worthy of living the life of your dreams. Okay. I'm going to move through with my owl rattle to help support you, to help you feel grounded, and to seal in all of this lovely, juicy energy from this practice. One more spritz. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative. You are safe. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sending you so much love and support. And until we meet again, be so well. Come up on the pillow. She just wants cuddles. Come on, Mama. For today's video, I just wanted to do a little chakra activation. And just doing a little bit of balancing and aligning. But this is a new kind of video for me. I usually speak directly to the collective instead of the individual, so that always happens when I'm trying to do it like a perspective. Maybe your perspective on things is a little clouded at the moment. I'm not sure if that resonates with you, but that's what I'm getting here. But just sort of being aware of is coming in so that we can be more prepared to make that decision. I love metallic sounds. There's like clicky clacky sounds. But it does have kind of a funny smell. I'm not gonna lie, when I first used it I was like, oh, what is that? But amethyst is a really great spiritually aligned stone. It can help with clarity, mental fog, really helps us see soberly. Invite some more mindfulness and some of this energy work